This conference will now be recorded.
ఒక్క నిమిషం కేబుల్ పెట్టేసుకున్నా నేను.
పెట్టేసుకోండి సార్. Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello. And again, once again, a warm welcome to the esteemed guest of today's show, Dr. RAMESH Kanduri Jairam Garu. He is the former Director General of Indian Meteorological Department. He is aptly and fondly called as weatherman of India. Not just weatherman of India. Now he is the weatherman of the world. And I envy him because various countries want him to become the citizen of that country, including India. Means knowledge. He is the Bharatamata Putra with such knowledge. With such knowledge, every country wants him to be there in their country for the simple reason that they have understood what an important role weather can play, what an important role environment can have in one's life, one's progress in their lives. Now, even today, he is in remote part of Iraq. Can you believe? He has gone there, part of the team, to understand and mitigate measures for the drought situation prevailing in Iraq. So, such is the knowledge with which Dr. KJ Ramesh Garu has been driven into. And sir, warm welcome. Namaskaram.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నమస్కారం.
మళ్ళీ ఒక్కసారి, ఎందుకంటే వారు ఒక వాతావరణ శక్తిగా భారతదేశంలోనే కాదు ప్రపంచ దేశాల్లో కూడా వారికి గుర్తింపు. ఎందుకంటే వాతావరణాన్ని నిత్య జీవనంతో, వాతావరణాన్ని మానవ మనుగడతో, వాతావరణాన్ని ప్రకృతి సహజ సిద్ధ శైలి ఆ జీవితంతో ఏ విధంగా మనం ముందుకు సాగాల అనే దాని మీదనే వారు వారి చర్యలు, వారు పదవులో ఉన్నంత కాలం, పదవి పిదప కూడా అటువంటి మార్గాలని అనుసరిస్తూ మానవుడు, అదేవిధంగా ప్రకృతి, వాతావరణం ఏ విధంగా సహజీవనము చేయొచ్చో, ఏ విధంగా సహజీవనం చేయడం ద్వారా వారి జీవితాలు ఆనందమయంగా ఉంటాయి. కానీ ఏ విధంగా సహజీవనం చేయకపోగా ఏ విధంగా దుర్భరమైనటువంటి పరిస్థితి ఎదుర్కొంటామో ఈరోజు బెంగళూరు, హైదరాబాద్, కొచ్చి, నార్దర్న్ ఇండియా, మిగతా భారతదేశంలో ప్రదేశాలన్నీ కూడా వరదలకు అతలాకుతలం అవుతా ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకు? దేనివల్ల? నీరు, ఏనుగు తమ దారిని మరిచిపో. Such a gentleman with such profound knowledge, he has been helping us, the entire world, including India, to live or lead a comfortable and happy and prosperous life in symbiosis with the nature, having understood the weather. But what is happening of late? You have ignored weather, you have not understood the environment, you have encroached nalas, rivers, everything. Now the devastation is utmost or complete in the form of Bengaluru, still in floods. Hyderabad, a small rain, entire area gets flooded. Kochi, the Periyar River, what will happen to the international airport? Likewise, all the rivers which are trying to block the normal life. All the other cities in India face the same and similar situation. So, mismanagement of urban floods is the topic for today. Yes, sir, most welcome. And
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
before you start, I'll just show you a little presentation. This is another famed Akshay Patra Foundation in Bengaluru who are trying to help people. See what is happening. Where is the man walking? A man walks over an inundated footpath in Bengaluru on Wednesday, September 7, 2022. See, these are all visuals which are there in the public domain. People have been shouting hoarse, including the chief ministers. We will show what is truth. See, transport plies on a waterlogged road following incessant rains in Bengaluru on Wednesday, September 7, 2022. Now this show is on 9th. Still they have not learned. Yesterday and today it has been raining again. Now here you see residents of a flood affected colony being rescued by flood relief task force personnel of Indian Army at Yamluru in Bengaluru on Wednesday, September 7, 2000. What happened to disaster management force of respective states? Where are they? The municipalities of the states, where are they? Even our KTR in Telangana, he states Hyderabad is the best disaster management city, helping Chennai, helping Vizag, helping Bengaluru. What is happening to Hyderabad, Mr. KTR? They have become sleeping cells now. All these disaster management cells. See how people are suffering in Bengaluru. Posh areas, I'm showing you. What would have been the condition of the marginalized, low-lying areas, you understand. And here you see the Akshay Patra. They are doing a tremendous job. Volunteers of Akshay Patra Foundation distributing food to the people of flood-affected areas after incessant rains disturbed normal life in Bengaluru on Wednesday. They are doing a wonderful job. Kudos to them. This is what is Bengaluru. No lesser mortal is Kochi, or for that matter, Hyderabad too. They are staring at similar situations. We are just trying to show you as to how the life has been affected in a Bengaluru city, which is the technological hub of India. What is happening to Bengaluru? What happened to the technology? Just not having technology, but you should respond appropriately. Not just respond, but you should be in a preventive mode. How can you be in a preventive mode using the technology and brains like Dr. KJ Ramesh? Much in advance, you can brace to the such situations. But is it happening? No, not at all. They are just ignoring everything. See, these are all pictures which I am trying to show you on your screen by the Akshay Patra Foundation. The best in the city have nothing to eat. Costly cars washed away. What is happening? Should we buy a ship to be in Bengaluru? Because you don't know when it rains. When it rains, the entire area is flooded. So these are the certain pictures of the help by Akshay Patra 2 for your understanding as to what is happening in Bengaluru. No less in Kerala. At this point of time, Kerala also there is rain, rain and rain. Then how should people react to this? Let's go back to our guest of the day. And sir, I think I have just shown, because there are many things which I cannot show you. Otherwise, I'll be missing you from speaking. Because you are part of Bengaluru. You are part of Bengaluru now on an assignment in Iraq. How do you look at this? Because we have been making shows with you, thanks to you, Colonel Sanjay ji, Subbarao ji, Dr. Prakash. We need to host him once you come back.
Yes.
How do you look at this scenario? Time and again for the last 1.5 months, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we have been shouting. Then why these governments not understanding? Now KTR is trying to blame the central government in Telangana. And Karnataka Chief Minister, he exonerates himself from this. He says previous government. Then what were they doing? Yes, sir.
See, it is blaming each other won't help at all. Now, knowingly, unknowingly, whatever is there, we have to learn to get out of this situation and protect ourselves. So that should be the objective from now onwards. So whatever mistakes have happened, so we have to find out ways and means of correcting those mistakes and making ourselves safer for future extreme catastrophic scenarios led by the extreme rainfall, high amount of rainfall. So it is all mismanagement only, very clearly. TV Pai, particularly Infosys person, founder member, Mohandas Pai. He was a part of the Infosys founding members along with Narayan Murthy. And he told he is admirer of Bangalore, and one of the persons who has seen the development of Bangalore from SM Krishna's time and making it as a Silicon Valley of India. So we are proud that India is contributing so much knowledge transfer by developing applications, IT hub, Silicon Valley of India, and Bangalore was the first city to make that knowledge-driven services, and India has grown significantly from that. Hyderabad, Pune, Noida, like that, so many, Calcutta, so many other cities have developed there as IT hubs subsequently to Bangalore. So yesterday, with a lot of pain, Shivananda Pai told it is now result of bad governance and poor infrastructure, lack of urban reforms, and unregulated development allowed, and underlined high corruption in the system. So these are the facts of the life. With a lot of pain, he has said about reasons for poor state of affairs and helplessness of the citizens left to survive themselves. Nothing can be offered as a solution by the administration. So that was the pathetic way of expressing his anger and anguish yesterday. So that is the situation. People who were part of the Bangalore development, and they were part of the government think tank in expanding the IT facilities, IT infrastructure, IT ecosystem of Bangalore, has pathetically and with a lot of pain has to express their anguish yesterday. So that also gave me a lot of um, um, mm, pain in my thinking also. So despite so much knowledge, guidance is available, we are not making use of that knowledge to improve the situation. This is not the first time Bangalore is facing urban floods. Bangalore has been facing it, but inaction of past urban floods impact by the urban local authorities like BBMP has led to the worsening situation. So in all probability, flood zone management, flood plain management is very important to be put in action with serious intent, at least from now onwards, with the help of knowledge resources available in Indian Institute of Science and several Indian Institute of Human Settlements in Bangalore, and several knowledge groups driven by IT companies itself, and several universities, NGOs are there who are ready to provide help and guidance to the government how to avoid the recurrence of this inundation.
But in spite of this, we have been discussing it regularly, Ramesh
Mm,
Garu.
mm,
Now I'll try to show some images. Now I've just received, including your Mohandas Pies, how they are being blaming the illegal encroachments, corruption, not understanding our city, a Bengaluru like city, because we are taking example like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Kochi, and
mm.
the other cities like Pune and Mumbai. Mumbai also we were discussing. In spite of having the best technology, how is that technology is not being utilized or synchronized by in sync with the administrative structure of the state governments?
Yes,
Ha-
that is the most unfortunate part, because yeah, please.
yeah, you speak, sir. Then I'll just try to show. Just receive some
Yeah,
of the things now.
yeah, why I'm telling is earlier uh, they were demanding that early warning is not there. How the heavy rains are uh, uh, developing, how the heavy rain scenario is developing in the city, which segment it is starting with, which way it is moving. So now, apart from the warning given by the India Meteorological Department, previous shows we have seen, SMSs are sent to deputy commissioners themselves, and then within the Bangalore, Mega Sandesha app gives live information of rain, live information of rain turning into inundation is also generated with 15-minute update scenarios. So this is all done to help BBMP and their ground staff to respond properly. They know the hot spots where accumulation can happen. Some action to prevent the inundation of colonies, particularly we are seeing in Sarjapur areas, Marathalli areas, Velandur area of Bengaluru. So no effort even made despite having the information. So that is the agony with which we all have to work from now onwards. Whatever happened, happened. At least blaming won't help. Let us work, find out the solution.
Last time also we have done a show exclusively when they were trying
Yes,
to blame weathermen and the news
yes,
channels, how they were trying to project you, show you as
uh,
villain.
yes,
That also we exposed that time clearly.
yes, yes.
But in spite of that, that we have done almost 2 weeks now. But in
Hmm,
spite of these, as early warnings, this thing, everything is there in that. How is that
hmm.
they are not able to still source it up?
That shows their insensitivity to respond in an appropriate manner. See, we have mechanisms supposed to have responded by taking the guidance from these updates of 15 minutes of rainfall. See, whole of Bangalore is not getting affected. So it
Yeah,
is getting affected in segments. So they can
yeah,
easily relocate their field staff in big numbers wherever the response needs to be accelerated. So that's
yeah,
what is not happening despite having technology guidance, despite having WhatsApp groups. um, uh,
yeah,
that's what has to happen now, at least.
yeah, yeah. But in spite of that, see, last time also we have seen all this, and we have exposed them. But even after that, don't you think these departments they are not getting early warning signals?
Information is there, and what is making them not to respond is beyond comprehension. Now at least they should become sensitive to the problems of the people.
Hmm.
So there are opportunities now available to respond early, even before the ground situation worsens. So that kind
Hmm.
of response mode, rapid response mode, now will have to make the administration to be ready for intervention.
Hmm.
That's what has to happen. People like Sivananda Pai and others, citizen side, I think that kind of advocacy needs to be done. We have mechanisms, we have systems, we have field staff, but
Hmm.
they are not responding timely, despite having the information in hand and in
Hmm.
advance about such a possibility. Like in Bombay also now heavy rain warning has been given for next 2 days.
Hmm.
So we have to see how the Bombay also responds to the situation now.
That sounds interesting. Now, Bombay, Mumbai is also on the heat now, and
Hmm.
as you rightly said, what is that exact term called mismanagement? How can you categorize this mismanagement of floods? Is it from early warning?
Misman- See,
Yeah.
mismanagement in
Yes.
the sense, earlier, 10 years before, they used to say we don't have information about the heavy rain happening of this magnitude. So now
Okay.
we have, they cannot blame now. So that kind of at least 2 days before, 3 days before, with color coded warnings followed by SMSs in a nowcast mode
Hmm.
update with every 3 hours, district commissioners, deputy commissioners. and all other authorities, whomsoever they want us to send these alert messages, are all being organized and sent for last 5 years, 6 years now. And with that, following that, like Hyderabad and Bangalore, so these apps are there to give you which segment of city it started raining and what is the intensity, where it is high, where it is low, and Bangalore has moved to next level. Even the inundation they are computing based on the rainfall and the drainage capacity there, which is available. So when the water from the rainfall is above the carrying capacity, drainage capacity, draining out capacity of the drains, so inundation is bound to happen in those, waterlogging is bound to happen in those colonies. So that kind of mapping has been done in live, and information is shared. And what more the kind of live information can be generated for responding in an appropriate manner, identifying those regions where the attention is most required, and what more can be done. And if it is more, if more is required to be done, let us know also. That also can be generated. Having generated so much, Bangalore is the most advanced city in terms of generating live extreme impacts from the rainfall. So this is what I call it as a mismanagement. Information is there. If you don't have information, if you play ignorant about that, yes, after post event you are responding. So from the post event responding situation to a pre event preparedness planning, safety planning, and making the people to be safeguarding themselves by all possible means. We should tell them this is what is likely to happen. Inundation has started in this area, so you are nearby to that. Your lake is already full, so outflow of your lake can start at any time. So outflow is blocked in those colonies. We know the wherever encroachment has taken place, where outflow channels of the lakes, overflowing lakes is blocked, then we can alert. It is not that municipal authorities don't know about the encroached areas. So encroached areas, if we are not able to remove, at least we can alert people, these are the colonies, water will come. Please protect your valuables, shift them to first floor, higher levels, rooftops, and then evacuate yourself by taking your vehicles and valuables before the inundation takes place. Even that much we can say, instead of allowing people, making uh, uh, them to face the miseries of some of the colonies. They are in knee deep of water. Even that kind of guidance alerts can be given immediately. Municipal authorities can do, even if encroachments cannot be removed overnight, but at least you can alert the people you are living in the vulnerable zone, your lake is going to overflow. That kind of response is possible. No, people will move out in hours.
People can move
This
out
is
in
what I
hours.
call
Let me
it
just try to share. Yes, sir. This is why you call it. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
mismanagement. Mismanagement.
So this is why you call this as mismanagement. More and more videos are coming because this is 10th of this thing, and I'm trying to show more and more videos. See, wall and pathway blocking Raja Kaluwe to lake demolished at ORR Tech Park now. So
See,
after we
see,
have wall and pathway, yeah, fine. Flooding, Minister assures IT sector of corrective steps. BBMP to intensify demolition drive along SWDS. Then now it is very clear Dr. KJ Ramesh has been crying hoarse. He has been shouting from the rooftop. It is encroachments. It is mismanagement. All this town planning in municipal corporations, whether it is Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Kochi, or municipalities in every part of the state, town planning officers, we call Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. We have shown that in South Zone in Hyderabad Old City, how these fellows are making money at the cost of these encroachments. And these encroachments, when they are regularized, see, illegal structures raised in 7 places. Now, what will you say, Mr. Bomai? Flooding, Minister assures, I am trying to show you. Heavy rain leaves Bangaluru's arterial roads inundated. Total loss of rupees 225 crore. That's what we are saying. Loss of property, loss of infrastructure, loss of lives, and what is that you are going to present to the world? Bengaluru, high-tech city, the Silicon Valley of India. How are you projecting and trying to show the living standards? And how can these companies, right, software companies, keep quiet? What do you say about that, sir? These fellows, they'll try to create so much of this thing, mistrust in the unfortunate, innocent minds. Why are they keeping quiet, sir?
See, now blaming anybody won't help, Dr. Reddy. We have to find out a solution to get out of this scenario and this apathy from happening in future. So that's what I'm telling. Shivananda Pai ji has started this movement of citizen pressure to be created for making the authorities to take corrective steps, and the assurance is given now. At least we should see that
Now,
seriousness
here
with which.
another important. Sorry to interrupt you, because it's a technology marvel, Silicon City. If this
Yes,
technology doesn't come to your own rescue, all the Silicon Valley, so many big software companies and their own employees there, their costly cars washed away, houses inundated, work totally stopped, and they do not know what is going to happen in the present or future. Now I have put it on your screen. Who is responsible? Srinivas Alavilli from Janagraha points out that there has been no mayor for Bengaluru since 2 years. So there is no one person who can take up the responsibility. We need to understand that there is a direct connection between these floods and elections, and Bengalurians go all out to vote for the rightful candidate and not just factors like their individual ideologies and affiliations. Effective governance is the only way out, he says, adding, one also needs to know engineers at their ward level to ensure the smallest of loopholes are fixed immediately. How do you react to this,
yes.
sir?
No, this is what I am telling. We know where the problem exists,
Hmm,
where the water channels are blocked. Uh, we,
hmm.
we should try to remove those blockages to see that water starts flowing in instead of coming into colonies, coming into roads and other living areas of the people, communities within the communities. So we have to create these additional flow channels wherever it is possible. It is possible. Local engineering, they know. Ward engineers, they know how to fix it. At least that those things we should make it to happen.
Wonderful. Engineers of all, because you are all engineers, software, gentlemen, women, you are all engineers. Then why don't you understand in a simple logical way what is happening in your area? And now the responsibility of a citizen, and those unfortunate colleagues or their seniors or juniors to me, they work very hard to make a living, whether in software or otherwise. Why did they buy house in such an area? See, due diligence is needed when investing in a house. Srinivas says that people who have the means to buy lavish homes often forget to check on these constructions that have come up in encroached areas. Fancy brochures that claim everything is approved are fine, but people need to employ the services of a good lawyer to understand the long term problems that their homes may face and understand if these approvals have been procured legally or not before investing, he points out. Don't you think this is a huge thing? Because we are finding across in Telangana, I'm an example, every village, Ramesh Garu, in every village, every
Yes,
town, agriculture lands are being converted into real estates. They are destroying
yes.
hills and hillocks. Hills and hillocks are
Mm,
meant to conserve water, protect you from
yes,
these weather invasions. Am I right or wrong, sir? They are converting every
yes,
time, and KTR is blaming the central minister. That also I'll show you. And Silicon Valley, they work very hard to make a money, and they are investing in such areas. We have seen along Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bangalore way, or from Bangalore to Salem, or for that matter, when you come to the north, also you find how lakes. Bangalore was full of lakes like Hyderabad. How they are disappearing, how the constructions are coming up, huge buildings are coming up. How do you react to this, sir? How can people buy without understanding with these marketing technologies or marketing marvels?
See, these are the facts. The development authorities like Bangalore Development Authority, Hyderabad Urban Development Authority, or any other city development authority has to put in public domain before the new colonies, new ventures are allowed to be marketed by the builders or developers, saying that this is the low-lying area, this is the high-lying area, this is where the river flow exists, this is where the natural drainage system exists. Those maps are to be put in public domain so that people can understand where their venture is being marketed now. Developer has announced whether it is in elevated zone compared to the drainage, or in the low-lying area, it is in a valley or hillock, and that topographical details, landscape details with maps, with the location of the venture has to be made in public domain by the development authorities. Development authorities only give approvals for these big ventures and developers. So when that scheme is approved and allowed to be marketed by a developer, whether it is an agriculture land, whether it is a other land, whatever land use conversion is allowed, so those details about the landscape, whether it is in a valley or elevated zone, and if it is in valley, and what the developer is planning to protect from the future flooding, etc. So these are some of the things I think we should, as a citizen, pressure from the communities like led by Sivananda Pai, etc. So we will have to make that kind of advocacies for the government development authorities to put this information in public domain so that people can analyze and see the investment decision. Because once you invest, EMI goes for whole life, up to 60 years of your age. From 35 years, 25 years, you will be paying, committing to pay so much installments for your house. So this is all required now to be put in place, and we should seek governments to put this information in public domain.
Yeah, another one, yes, but the corruption in urban town planning and the municipal commissioners, they themselves have to be blamed. Don't you think the high courts or Supreme Court, for that matter, I'm thankful to Supreme Court. You have seen what has they have destroyed everything in Kochi when they have constructed
Yes,
in this sea ocean zone when they were trying to violate. Now we have seen the
coastal
same in
zone.
Mumbai. Yeah, Coastal Zone Regulation Act. Now the same
Yes,
we have seen in Mumbai, Kochi. Now the same is seen in Gurgaon also, Uttar Pradesh. When they have constructed
yes.
such huge buildings have been removed. Now we are seeing in Goa for different matters. A, an unfortunate incident happened. A woman had to, life had to be sacrificed. So this coast zonal violations they are trying to destroy there in Goa. But don't you think why they are keeping quiet? See here, Bombay blames previous government, Congress government for city's plight. Even New York City would have crumbled. Why? If there were encroachments during Congress rule, let them clear it. Not performing while in power and blaming the previous Congress government instead is not right. People have given you an opportunity. In case you are not able to perform, let us go for elections. Dr. K. Shivkumar, he is the one Congress president there. So this blame game, how do you react to this, sir? See, I don't
No,
understand.
no, blaming each other, blaming somebody else, blaming weather department, blaming others won't help at all. Now it is, as a citizens, we have to own our own mistakes and correct the mistakes happened. Whomsoever have done it, we have to correct it.
Now, see, residents of poshest gated community maintain silence in Bengaluru. How can they be
Hmm.
silent, sir? A basic villa in SP Epsilon costs rupees 10 crores. Depending on the size of the plot, the price can easily head north of rupees 20 to 30 crores. An acre plot is apparently rupees 80 crores. What the hell is happening in Bengaluru, Hyderabad, other cities, sir? If the land becomes so costly, if you are allowing these realtors, businessmen to grow beyond India, and Article 30, this is directly invasion of Article 31, equal distribution of
Yes,
wealth. Your home, you are not able to afford a affordable home is the priority of the government. It is the welfare of the government. And how can you have such big difference gap between those who are not having money and those who are having highly paid people? How can you allow this, sir? A government?
that's why they are not raising their voice, because they are the people. They have so many
Yeah.
homes. There are so
Hmm.
many homes in Bangalore. If this is inundated, they have gone to other home which is not inundated, and
Hmm.
they are not worried about the loss to their property or asset, because people who are paying EMI from their pocket, earning monthly earning, like IT professionals, biotechnology professionals, science and technology professionals, they will have problem. These 10 to more than 5 crore properties, they will not raise their voice at all.
Another picture for your info. Billionaires rescued in boats as their flooded house lose light and water. See here,
Yes,
residents of Epsilon, an enclave of super
yes,
rich in Bengaluru, are evacuated in a
yes,
boat on Tuesday morning. See,
yes.
now at least people should be wise. Think before you invest. Don't fall for by these politicians who have made money through corruption. They invest in real estates. That is how these urban local bodies are giving them permission, whether municipal corporations or municipalities. Now they see your plight. Who is going to rescue you? And why are you keeping silent? Why don't you file cases against all these fellows, developers, these real estate managements, companies, and all those officials who have accorded permission, and those governments who have given this permission? Yes, sir.
No, these
Now
are
I'm
all,
showing a small video.
the problems created by
Small
our
video.
own fellow citizens.
These are all posh colonies in Bengaluru.
Yes,
No
yes, yes.
better than Hyderabad. Kochi.
No, no, no better than Hyderabad. This can happen in any city now, any town.
Any city. Yeah, I'm showing some visuals who have sent me.
This can happen in any town. ఓకే రెడ్డి గారు, ఇంకో 10 minutes లో ముగిద్దాము. నాకు ఒక మీటింగ్ ఉంది, వస్తారు ఇక్కడ.
Oh, no problem, sir. Why? Yes, sir. We'll. I'm just trying to show some only some, and I'm just trying to show you what the problem is like, because they have sent me so many videos, and I'm
Yes,
not
yes.
going to go on them because even the your pies video, I'm just trying to check where it has gone, and so these are all, and how KTR is trying to blame the central governments. Yes, sir.
See, now the way you said, coastal zone management violations are taken seriously.
Hmm.
Now the floodplain zone management violations also are to be taken very seriously. Time has come now. Floodplain
Hmm.
management in cities, urban floodplain management, particularly encroachments of Rajakalva or Mini Kalva, anything, drainage systems, natural drainage systems which are blocked by the buildings, which are blocked by the roads, have to be opened up, and the causeway for the water to flow freely in an uninterrupted manner, maybe with low carrying capacity to start with, at least water causeway carrying water carrying canal, water carrying capacity need to be created without interruption in a gravity manner. one tank outflow goes to another tank through a drainage as an inflow to another tank in the downstream gravitationally. So that paleo channels which were there before city development was there are to be restored by some way, by the local engineers, local wards, citizens cooperating, leaving, even that could be at the cost of losing some of the land in their own localities, in the societies. If that is required, that is to be sacrificed in the interest of protecting future inundations. So
Wonderful.
all this
Yeah,
has to happen.
all this has to happen, and you have seen KTR speaking against blaming central government, but forgetting nalas and lakes have been occupied. Golskattu Chaurulu, Nala Lanni occupied. Firangi Nala, big one, which starts from Chevella, which
Uh,
culminates in Ibrahimpatnam Cheruvu. Now you have seen the entire old city area is under that coverage. And unfortunately, All India Majlis Ittihadul Musliman, that
yes.
gentleman, Chandekar, that Chandran Gutta constituency, he is the opposition leader, friendly opposition
Mm.
party leader. Akbaruddin Owaisi's constituency is also under the water. Maheshwaram
Water.
constituency underwater. Just giving you an example, these are
Yes.
responsible persons in this city, I mean, the legislative assembly. How can
Mm.
a minister, a municipal administration minister, who constructs his own farmhouse in the FTL, he
Mm.
has ran to High Court to get the first he denied and then he ran to the High Court. How come he tries to blame others? Like
Yes.
we have
Yes.
seen the Chief Minister of Bengaluru, I mean, Karnataka. How do you look at this scenario, sir? What should people do now?
No, no, but the way I said, we know where the blockages are there, where the water is blocked. I think we should find out ways and means of creating those channels opened, blocked channels opened by the engineering solutions available today, by the options that the new technology can provide that solution. So if tunneling is required, metro tunnels are there without affecting the existing infrastructure on ground. Metro underground is constructed with the two-way metro. Tunneling is happening. So we have technology. We have to create those water flowing channels which are blocked now. So now solution is there, intent is there. So we can find out a solution. Citizens have to create, time has come for the citizens to create pressure to execute a solution to protect the uh, localities and the societies from future inundations with the earliest possible efforts.
Wonderful. This is for today from Dr. KG Ramesh. He is in Iraq. Which part of Iraq, sir? For the
Erbil,
viewers to
Erbil,
understand.
not northern Iraq, Erbil.
Erbil from northern Iraq. He is a concerned man, finding difficult to understand why Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Kochi, all now Mumbai is on high alert now. I only hope the citizens of Mumbai will start putting pressure on these governments. When they can create such huge tunnels for metros, transport, why is that these governments are silent to free water, to allow water to flow freely? As you have seen in Hyderabad, you have lakes, nalas beautifully done, 1908 by Mokshagunda Vishweshwaraya. Now they are encroaching everything. They are trying to remove Himayat Sagar, Gandipet and Usman Sagar, Gandipet and Himayat Sagar. And then encroached nalas, including Firangi Nala. Where will the water go? These for serving as storage for drinking and flood regulation. So the same thing is happening to Bengaluru. Lakes destroyed, nalas encroached. The same thing is the scenario in Mumbai, everywhere. Now it is these concerned citizens. All let us together come together and make it very clear to the governments, whether whichever government it is, enough of this. Now we would love to live in symbiosis with nature. Let us free all these zones, allow water to freely flow and join rivers from there to ocean. And in between, if you want, we can utilize it in a proper way through dams or anything. But those dams also, we have seen Kaleshwaram, what is happening, how the corruption has become a biggest scourge, whether it is real estates, whether it is dams, and for us our own intent for citizens who are earning more, thinking that they are posh colonies, we will invest there, we will buy, we will move away from the common man. Now the posh colonies in Bangalore or Hyderabad, we have seen that Hyderabad also finance district. Small rain will inundate everything. At least now the citizens should wake up, understand it is your money, our money. We are buying it and paying installments. Again, it is your money, our money, with which governments create infrastructure. And if they are creating it in such an area which is encroaching nalas, lakes, not allowing water to freely flow, then we are bound to suffer. And these concrete jungles, yes, they have shown they are going to disturb the climate, the temperatures increased, and cloudburst rains may happen, and water will keep on flowing. And that too, in spite of having, as once again clearly explained by Ramesh ji, early warnings, prior information on weather is clearly available everywhere in India. In spite of that, every now and then, if like Bengaluru latest now, tomorrow maybe Mumbai, Hyderabad and Kochi are also on the verge. If we are getting these floods and if we are worried about these rains, whom should we blame? Is it not the mismanagement of urban floods? तो सोचिए आप भी, ये भ्रष्टाचार, और जब हम पानी को रोकते हैं, पानी या हाथी को आप कभी भी कहीं भी नहीं रोक सकते, वो अपने दिमाग से जिस जगह जाना चाहिए वो वहीं
रास्ता अपने आप निकालेगा
सर.
वाटर विल फाइंड आउट इट्स ओन वे. रास्ता अपने आप निकालेगा.
पानी रास्ता अपने आप निकालेगा. अगर पानी के बीच में आप इस तरह की कंस्ट्रक्शंस, बड़े बड़े बिल्डिंग्स इस तरह आप कंस्ट्रक्ट करेंगे, जिस तरह रमेश जी बोला, पानी రాస్తా అప్నే ఆప్ నికాలేగా. నీటి మార్గాల్లో నాలాలు కానీ గొలుసుకట్టి చెరువులను కానీ మీరు ఆక్రమించుకుంటే ఆ నీరు తన దారిని తనే కొనుక్కుంటుంది. దాంతో పాటు మనం సంపాదించినవి అన్నీ పోతాయి, మన జీవితాలు కూడా పోతాయి. మనకు ఏదైతే మౌలిక సదుపాయాలు మన డబ్బు పెట్టి వెచ్చించారో, కాంట్రాక్టర్లకు కమిషన్లు పోయి, రాజకీయ నాయకులకు అవినీతి డబ్బు పోయి, అదే తిరిగి ఎలక్షన్లు పెట్టి గెలుస్తా ఉన్నారు. కానీ మన జీవితాలు దుర్భరం అవుతాయి. మేలుకో पौरुड़ा, अवेक सिटीजनशिप, जागो मेरे नागरिक, वरना हम इसी तरह से जाते रहेंगे और भ्रष्टाचार, करप्शन, अविनीति, that is going to rule us. Thank you very much, sir. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful trip.
All the best. Have a good time in Kerala.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Do support DRTSPR channels, Citizens DRTSPR channel, Environment People DRTSPR channel, and DRTSPR channel. We will repeat this again on Environment People after this live show. Once again, requesting all the citizens to become more and more concerned so that their lives can be much better. And don't forget, you are not the last one. Your own children, what is that you are going to leave for them? Try to understand, become responsible, start questioning, and don't buy any property in such encroached areas. Expose these politicians and urban officials' nexus so that we can live a better life. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.